In this video, I'm going to show you how to make some sewn masks that are reversible. The pattern is a free pattern that was in the New York Times. I'd like to preface this by saying I am not a seamstress. I do not like sewing, but the reason I don't like sewing is because it involves ironing. So it also involves measuring, and those two things I do not like to do unless I absolutely have to. So that's why I generally knit when I work with fiber. But anyway, what you will do is it really does help if you iron all your fabric, which I very rarely do. And that's why my stuff ends up wrinkled and not so great. But first, if you don't have shoelaces or strips to attach to your masks, you will want to iron some fabric and sew it together. Oh, that's an image of the pattern that I downloaded from the New York Times. You will get a template in that pattern, and I am making the medium-size mask. I found that it just works totally fine for your average face. So you'll find your fabric. That's an old skirt that I thought the pattern was really cute, so I didn't throw it away. And turn it inside out and then trace your template. One thing I didn't say is I cut the template out of regular paper and then traced it on some chipboard so that I would have a nice sturdy template to trace around. So I recommend doing that. Anyway, you trace around it with a Sharpie or a pen or whatever, and then cut it out. So another thing I've done here that I didn't mention is I've folded my fabric in half so I can cut two pieces out at once. And you can see there it is. I've got two pieces, and now I'm going to sew them together along that center seam. And you just use your straight stitch and sew it together. Now you don't need a sewing machine for this, but it does make it go a lot faster. You could hand sew these. And I'm just sewing along that seam, and now you will see that I can open it up and I have one layer. I'm going to use this fabric for the outside of the mask. Ta-da! That's what it looks like. It looks a little big, but that's because we haven't sewn it together and turned it inside out yet. So to sew it together, you'll place that piece down and your other piece on top of it. Place the pieces together so the fronts are on the inside. So you want your seams sticking out on the top and the bottom, and the fronts are sandwiched together. So what will end up being the outside of the mask is on the inside as you sew it together. Now for this part you can use the strings, shoelaces, ribbon, the little handmade strings that you made, or you can also use elastic and make a little elastic loop for ear flaps, and that is what I have done in some of those first pictures on this video. So you line it up. There's a picture on that New York Times pattern that shows you lining it up like this. This is a part that was confusing to me because I have not sewn in a long time because I don't like to iron or measure. So anyway, you line it up with the straps going towards the inside of the mask and just a little bit poking out to the outside of those little strings that will go around your head. And you just sew it all together. So you will sew basically a pocket. You will go across one side with the strings sticking out, and then you will go along the top and the bottom. So I went around one side and then the bottom, and I'm going around the top, and you're just sewing it together. Remember that you're looking at what will be the inside of the mask now. That is what's facing you. After I sew the top together, what I will do is put the other two strings that will go on the other side of the mask, I will attach those in the same kind of awkward way that I attached the other two, where they're pointing towards the inside of the mask and a little bit is hanging over the outside. So I didn't show you that very well, but there is an image on that pattern that I will post to this video so that you can see what the heck I'm talking about. There are some drawings. And I go nice and slow because, number one, I don't want to sew through my finger. I've done that before. And also, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm sure if you are really good at sewing and you're familiar with your sewing machine, you could go a lot faster than me. Also, look at all that fabric that I have to use. So much. Okay, so now I'm ready to turn it inside out so you can actually see what the mask will look like. And I'm just kind of trimming up the edges, trimming all the strings off. Now, it's the magical moment. It's really fun. It's like Christmas. You pull those two strings through from the other side and it will help you pull it inside out, lickety split. And try it on. Make sure it fits. Now, if you have elastic, it can just go right around your ear. Okay, this part, that's the last side that I didn't sew together yet. I just sewed the strings on. So now that you've turned it right side out, you will just do one little seam down that last edge, and then you can wear it. Now it is reversible. I like to do one side plain and one side kind of busy, especially if you're giving it as a gift, because you never know. You never know what mood you'll be in when you're wearing your mask at the grocery store. Do you want to be kind of wild and out there, or do you want to be kind of conservative? And that's what the back looks like. And that's the front. Hello! Thank you for watching this demonstration.